I need to get back to the gym. In this video, we're of course going to cover lots of tips about your game and how you can improve, but we're going to be using the Omni S Pro from PongBot. I'm going to show you how I use it. I'm going to show you the different features that are available, show you how this can benefit your game, and of course we'll look at various ways that you can improve your game along the way too. So check out the video and see if you think this is the robot for you.
Welcome, let's play. Tibhar connected.
Okay, so this is the control panel. I prefer to use this. There is also an option to use the app, but I find this slightly bigger screen and I find the controls a little bit easier to use and to follow. So first we're going to look at the programs. I'm going to start with a very basic one, basic technique. It's going to be a forehand drive ball into my forehand, so I've selected that. I can choose the difficulty level. And then on this calibration here, that takes me into a little bit more detail. So I can make the ball deeper, I can make it shorter, I can move it from the left or to the right, and I can increase or decrease the frequency throughout as well.
Start training.
So I've started here on 1 star, so it's a little bit slow. So if I've started and I want to make that change, I've got my pad here on the table and I simply click the next star, so the 2nd star. That changes it, tells me that we're changing, so now automatically the ball is lower and it's a little bit quicker as well. And if I move that up to number 3, it confirms it, and now the frequency is much higher as well. And then if you want to stop, we either click the stop button or you set a time period that you want to train for. So you can set these things up beforehand. Once you start to become familiar with the robot, you'll know the settings that work. But once you've started, you can also make these little tweaks whilst you're training too. So next we're going to do combined techniques. So programs, combined techniques. And now you can see there's 2 positions. So I'm going to go forehand drive and backhand drive. I'm going to go for this middle difficulty level. I'm going to click calibration. I want to make sure that the ball is nice and deep. And I don't want too much time in between each shot. I want to connect the shots. And now if I'm unsure of what that's going to look like, I can click combo test. And I'm going to do that from here so you can see. And that sends 2 balls for us to test where the ball is landing. So this is a good exercise for me in my game, but the speed isn't enough to test the weakness in my game. So sometimes I struggle to get here in time to make a good enough backhand shot. In this scenario, I've got too much time. So I'm going to increase the difficulty level, take away my time to play the backhand, and then I'm able to start working on moving a little bit quicker, reacting a little bit quicker, perhaps making my shot a little bit shorter too. Quick combo test. I want that quicker again, so I'm going to up the frequency. Another test. Okay, now I've got less time right here, so now I'm working specifically on something that I need to improve. Select the duration that we want, and then we're going to start Wish me luck.
Start training.
I've just paused that quickly because the ball's a little bit shallow, and whilst that might be a common place that people play, I want to make the difficulty even higher. So I'm going to just make a small change, make sure the ball's coming a little bit deeper so it's more challenging for me. I need to get back to the gym. So I was pretty happy with that. That felt good. I was quite relaxed on my backhand. When I'm relaxed, that helps me get my forearm and my wrist through the shot, becomes much more effective. I think in matches, sometimes I tighten on this one and then the shot becomes a little bit too short, but here this felt good. My timing was good, my technique was okay. My consistency was pretty good too. So it's allowing me to work on the right type of things. Just a quick look at some of the features that come. It obviously comes with a tray that's sloped, so the balls go down towards the robot. It comes with the side netting, which just clips onto the net here. That stops the balls coming off the side of the table. You just see it clips just under the table there, and then it just sits on top. So really easy to set up. You put it on the table, you plug it in, you open the sides out, and you're ready to go. Okay, here we're going to go to programs again. Combine technique. We're going to look at one of these combinations, how to use these. So here then I'm going to go to loop, which is their description of playing against a longer backspin ball. So here we've got loop and then a drive, so that's spinning against backspin and then attacking forward. I think the one I'm going to try is backhand loop and forehand drive. So that is me opening up against a push ball on my backhand and then following up on my forehand. So I select that. I'm going to do a calibration. I want to make sure the ball's quite deep. And we'll leave the frequency at 0. Let's do a quick combo test.
Start training. Training completed.
Okay, so I'm happy with that. Let's give that a try. It's really hard to lift that heavy backspin. It's good, it's a great challenge for me. I really need to relax into that and accelerate a little bit more. If I'm too slow, the spin's just dying here. I'm just going to up the frequency slightly, just to make the connecting bit a little bit more realistic. That's hard. Come on. What's the old saying? Spin is safe. If I try to play without spin against a really heavy spin, the ball's just dying off. For me to make my open up safe, I've really got to accelerate, add more spin, and it builds a lot more safety into my game. So that's my technical focus. Technique was okay. but if this was too slow, it wasn't effective. I had to make sure that I had enough speed in my forearm, make sure that I have a big enough backswing, so I've got room to build that speed up, and then the shot was much safer for me that time. So this time, programs, complex techniques. Here you see random zone, that's going to be the irregular part. So the ball can go absolutely anywhere. It's great for anticipation, and that can actually be done also with these combined techniques. So even if you're doing forehand to backhand, you can randomize that as well. So as well as having it as a sequential mode where you always know where the ball is going, you can randomize it too. But back to these complex techniques, we're going to do a loop exercise. So the first ball is going to be against backspin, and we're going to go for this one here: forehand open up, forehand follow up, and then a backhand follow up. So that's second option there. Calibration, again, I want the ball nice and deep. I want the frequency quite tough. Let's do a quick combo test.
Start training. Training completed.
Okay, I'm going to make that ball as deep as it can go. Let's click save. Make sure it's on that second star. Definitely not 10 minutes. So let's give that a try. This one is tough. I could change the frequency, but I want to keep it difficult. So I'll try again.
Start training.
Ooh. So it's almost like I'm playing my top spin and someone's made a really quick counter top spin and I'm having to react really quickly to that first ball. Again, I could adapt the frequency to give me more time to mimic somebody blocking that first ball, but it's good, it's testing me. I need to be tested to improve. And it testing me at this level is really focusing me on my ability to be really quick with my arm, to be efficient with my legs. If everything's too long in this scenario, I'm never going to have time to recover for that next ball. So it's really teaching me and focusing me on making the most of my legs and my waist on that first ball. Short arm action, and then I've got time to follow up. Now we're going to come to a really cool feature, which is the custom feature. So we can make things really specific for us. So we tap custom. I've played around with this a little bit, I've trained with it, but I need to save some of my own drills that I've been playing with. But for this purpose here, I'm going to go level 2 and show you how it works. So this is the very first ball that you're having. So this first ball, you can select the positioning. So by clicking left or right, yeah, we see this line moving. I want this first ball into my short forehand, and then I want to make sure that the spin is correct. So here, by tapping this button here, we can see that the spin is changing. Here, I want underspin. I can adapt the ball height here. This just makes it cycle through quicker in 5s. But we'll start with 22. Let's see how that works. And you'll see now that I've changed all these parameters, that it's made the ball too short, but I'm yet to play around with the speed and the spin. So I don't want too much speed. We'll leave the speed where it is, but I do want some backspin to contend with. And now you see I've gone to 1.5. That's now made the ball deeper again. Now I can either test that ball individually, or as I've got further down the sequence, I can test the whole combination out. I'm going to have a quick test of this ball and just see what happens.
Start training. Training completed.
So that was into the net. I want it as a serve. So rather than it just being short forehand, I want it as a serve. So I'm going to make this ball height super short, so it plays the ball down into the table. And you see, as I'm playing with this ball height here, we can see down here that it's telling me when it's going to be going on the table.
Start training. Training completed.
So it's quite fast, so I'm going to slow it down.
Start training. Training completed.
I've got that slight backspin ball short into my forehand. Perfect. So now I click the plus button. That takes me to my second ball. And now I start playing around with what I want to happen next. So I'm going to choose a push ball out to my crossover point, the middle point. So here I want this slightly to the left of the center. I'm going to keep the speed where it is. I need to change the spin to underspin, as if somebody's pushed the ball out to me. I need to make sure that there's some spin on this too. And then I want to add some speed to get some distance on that.
Start training. Training completed.
Heads up, let's test this one
Start
out.
training. Training completed.
Okay, that second ball is fine. Then the third ball is going to be a topspin ball into my backhand. So I'm going to move left. I want it quite wide. I need some speed in this because it's going to be like a blocked ball or a ball that's been kicked. I want some topspin on the ball. You see, as I'm adding that topspin, that's making the ball shorter. So we might need to add a bit more speed. And let's test that.
Start training. Training completed.
So I can get that ball a little bit deeper.
Start training. Training completed.
And now that ball seems okay too. So we're going to do a combo test of all of that and make sure that's working well.
Start training.
Short ball, backspin ball, topspin follow-up. That seems to work. Let's give that a try. So I've chosen this. I'm predominantly a forehand player. So I've chosen this to practice my movement from short into this position to dealing with this crossover ball. So it's that distance I have to cover. And then I need to also work on my backhand a little bit more, so I'm not chasing everything with my forehand. So short ball here, then there's a push ball coming here. I'm going to lift up, and then I'm going to finally follow up with my backhand. A sequence is quite relevant for me. That is really good. Some little tweaks that I need to make. I think I could do with some more backspin on my touch ball. I'm just having to touch down the back of the ball. If I go under too much, it's just popping up a little bit higher. So I need to make a tweak to that. And then for me, and my own skill, you can see sometimes I'm in, then I'm out and I'm not giving myself enough room. And then my forehand's quite compromised. That's been quite typical of my whole career, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I need to work more on here, creating bigger space. Better to have too much space than not enough. And I've got enough room then to turn and twist into the shot. And then to start using my backhand. Backhand was okay. I need to use it more.
E-pad disconnected.
So there's a little review of the PongBot Omni S Pro. For someone like me, this is really useful. I'm not that close to a club. I'm not that close to anyone that I can practice with a lot. This will be forming a lot of my training, and there's a ton of things that I can do with it. I can cover everything that I need to. Of course, a robot can't do everything. I'm not going to be able to read bat angles and things like tactics, But in terms of my skill development, my movement, my touch on the ball, dealing with spin, returning spinny serves, this can do a lot of that. And there's a lot for me to get better at as well. When you're setting exercises like this, try to do things that you can't do very well. It's very easy to set up simple things that we can already do. We're not going to improve that way. Make sure you're doing things that test your ability. Is it your movement? Is it your timing? Is it the randomness of reading where the ball's going? We're trying to challenge our skill, and that's how we get better. So check out the Omni S Pro. The link is in the description. You get an additional 5% off with code ServiceGuy. There are various promotions throughout the year from 10%, 20%, even 30% discounts. And then you really are picking up a really good deal. I do only work with companies that I feel offer quality to myself as well as people that I'm advising. PongBot is one of those partners that I work with. It's something that I use, and I wouldn't promote it if I didn't think it was useful. I do get a commission from any PongBot sales. That's a great way of supporting me. If it's something you're going to buy anyway, then please buy through the link that's provided in the description. A great alternative is the Nova S, which is a tabletop robot, which is a much cheaper option to this. It doesn't quite have the same versatility, but it's a great option if this budget is a little bit out of range. So check out everything they've got to offer. You'll be able to get those extra hours in, hit those extra balls, and that can make the difference. As ever, thank you for watching, and see you at the next one.